Fact: an on-duty medical intern was assaulted and then killed and then left undressed in the hospital of RG. Fact: the hospital is at all times secured by at least 10 policemen before the incident even took place. Fact: the hospital is covered in CCTVs from head to toe. Fact: a day or two after the incident took place, the building that this incident occurred in started going through renovation while police was securing the perimeter. Fact: on the night between 14th August and 15th August, there were at least thousands of people who tried to break down the buildings of this hospital and tried to hurt all the students that were associated with the hospital and were present for protest. All of this is well documented facts that happened not in Bangladesh or Pakistan, but in India, West Bengal. I can go on and on about how the police were incompetent, how the authorities were incompetent, how if lakhs of citizens did not stood up for our students, there would have been one of the biggest massacres on the day of independence, or how the hospital authorities seem to want to cover it up, or how everything seems so bizarre to be happening in front of us, and how all of these incompetent people should resign from their posts, if not even be tried as criminals. I want to shine light on something deeper. All of this is going to go away in a month or so, whether there is justice or whether there is no justice. All of this is going to go away. We'll come together as a state, as a nation, and get this done. It is an active thing. What we usually fail to understand or rather comprehend is the impact that this incident or other incidents like this leave. Let us start from the ground level. What changes it is going to leave the people of this hospital with, or rather the students. Firstly, the female doctors, nurses or students are going to be terrified about something like this happening to them. It is very obvious, as would we too. Sooner or later, this fear is going to get the best of them and they will start to safeguard themselves. They will try to be in groups, be in visible places, carry weapons and be on the edge to protect themselves. Then comes the next stage, as the problem roots deeper. Now, as the authority of the hospital and other hospitals too, it will be their duty to safeguard this vulnerable population. Now the question arises, what form is this protection going to come in? What will end up happening is that this protection is going to come in the form of restrictions, and not on the people who might repeat this, but rather on the people who might be a victim to this incident. What this is going to change for them is that there will be more rules, more restrictions put on them. It will start with something like this, that the female students cannot go out of their hostels after 10 p.m. That female students cannot go anywhere without informing the authorities or seniors. Soon it will start going towards this. The female students cannot wear this kind of dress or this kind of clothes. That female students cannot take up night shifts. That the female students cannot take longer shifts. Now, after going through all of these restrictions, going through all these struggle to becoming a doctor, studying hard enough for all the exams and passing all of it, an employer will prefer to not choose them because they will have to be more mindful of their shifts, or because they will have to provide acceptable levels of security for their workers. Other doctors are going to think that these female doctors are not competent enough because due to limitations earlier imposed on them, like timing restrictions and shift restrictions. They are not competent enough to do the job as good as the male doctors can. They will be treated inferior to the male doctors because the male doctors can do more, can pull longer hours, can pull longer shifts, and obviously overall it is just so much less complicated for them. This is the repercussion that women in our society has to face because of shit people like these who think they can commit a crime without consequences. Incidents like this single-handedly get our societies to work like it used to work a decade earlier. So much struggle for equality that people have went through becomes absolute garbage because of incidents like this. The person who did this is going to get punished. His punishment will end much sooner than the potential victims of this incident. These potential victims that I am talking about are in fact your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, your wife. They are going to be the victim of this incident far longer than we can even possibly punish the criminal. Now this is not at all hopeless. I did not make this video to just tell you that we are just reverting back to the old days. I made this video because I, just like crores of Indians, saw how the citizens saved the students, punished the goons and came out victorious. And I think we, the citizens of India, can do the same about the repercussions that this incident is going to leave on so many students, sisters, daughters, mothers, and wives. I urge you all that the next time you think about safeguarding them, whether you are their parent, the authorities responsible, or anybody else imbued with the duty to do so, do not think restriction, think protection, think safer. Think about how you can let them do the things that they should be able to do instead of restricting them.